Hey, it's Nicole again. I'm making another video and the wind is picking up, so hopefully that's not picking up on the camera. Okay, this question is from, again, one of our Facebook members. Great question. What do I do when I feel like everybody's emotions are coming at me and I'm getting bombarded? Like, how do you separate from their stuff and your stuff? Because what can happen as an empath or as a sensitive is this emotional like snowballing where you have your own feelings to deal with. You also don't need to deal with everybody else's in the way that like they are your own. The tricky thing is when you have this thing that we call emotional x-ray vision, you can literally feel like you can step in someone else's, body and feel what they feel. Well, in order to really stop that, there are several techniques, which I'll go through a few. I just want to also point out that this is a process, okay? This is like a practice. Consider yourself, if you just started in yoga today and you've never done it before, brand new, but you loved it. You're like, wow, this is totally great. I've never done this before. I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it again. And then I'll be a little bit better. It'll be more familiar for me. And then, oh my gosh, 3 months have passed and I've been practicing this, right? And going and I've been learning things. And now I understand when they say this pose, I know that means I do this with my body. Well, in being a sensitive, I want you to think about it in the same way. You're practicing being a sensitive. Every day you learn a little bit more about being you as a sensitive superhero, okay? You're learning more about how you are wired, because even though we're all very similar, we have a lot of the same traits and we react to the same things, we feel the same things, we're still all super unique, which is the coolest part, I think, because every sensitive that I work with, while there are so many similarities that make them amazing, the way that they're all put together, it's like a mosaic. You're like a piece of art, okay? And you're a mosaic of all these different pieces of parts, and that's what makes you super unique. So some of the things that I say may like work spot on for, one of my clients, and some like that's not exactly my favorite one, but this one that you showed me, oh my gosh, I use that every day. And I just had a session this morning with a young lady. She's just amazing, and she was saying that, she said, the thing that I've really learned the most is to talk to myself when these situations happen, when things come up, or when other people's feelings come up. I can talk to myself and I can really put myself in a better place, so I'm not absorbing everything and I'm not taking in all of their things. So that would be one of my first tips. I would tell you that if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm just bombarded, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling really cramped, anything that makes you contract, like feel smaller, feel closed in, feel like, ugh, chances are other people's stuff is starting to close in your space like that, okay? If you're feeling expansive and you're feeling amazing and like, oh, I feel so fabulous and so fabulous, and I feel great and I feel free, right? Like I feel like, woo! Then you're not really closed in by other people's stuff. You're just kind of having your own energy and you're really expanding. And that's the goal, okay, is that we show up and we have big energy in life, that we can dominate our space with our own energy. But there are also tricks. So now that I've talked about expanding and contracting, one of the things is if you're going into, let's say, a group event, networking meeting, or you're around other negative people, there's a difference between having your energy way out there, so you're touching everybody's. Like if you were right in front of me, I could reach out and I could touch you, right? I could touch your physical body and you would know that we are in the same space. You have an energy body. If I come really close to you and if we were together, you'd be like, oh, get out of my space. Well, our energy bodies can get bigger and smaller, okay? So our physical body, well, that gets bigger sometimes, but we don't like that. But your energy body can expand and it can come in. So when you're going around certain people or somebody's really tense and stressed and you're like, oh, I don't want to feel like that, you can sort of pull your energy in a little bit closer and be more aware of it. There are other things. You can just excuse yourself, go off to the restroom, shut the door, give yourself a little space. If you have a car ride, that's another great example of just being in your own sort of little bubble. If you can't do that, you create your own energetic, visual kind of bubble, meaning I do this if I'm going in somewhere or going to work or wherever there's a lot of people, grocery stores, whatever. I'll visualize a big, pretty, I make mine really white and sparkly and pretty, but I put a big energy bubble around me, and only good energy can come in, no negativity, and only my good energy, of course, can go out. And so that way I'm sort of like protected, you know, may the force be with you kind of thing, I guess. But while it's a visual thing, it gives me the sense that I'm in my own space and no one's coming in and mixing with my stuff. It's up to me who comes into my space. If you're you know, all of a sudden your moods or your emotions have shifted very quickly and you're starting to feel again that contracting, that feeling, ask yourself, is this my stuff? I was just in a good mood. What am I feeling right now? Talk to yourself and ask yourself questions to really get the information right. Is this mine? If it's not mine, then whose is it? Where was I? Who was I just thinking about? Was I just thinking about my friend, sister who's dealing with something, or someone at work who said something to me and now I feel yick? Or am I around a spouse and they're really stressed about work and now I'm feeling stressed? So if you can do that, then you can sort of also remove yourself and say, depending on the situation, this is their stuff, not mine. I'm okay with that. They need to work through their feelings. I work through my feelings. Because if it's our stuff,